This video is sponsored by Dubby Jitterless Energy Blend. Click on the link in the description and use the code PackerMan to save 10% on any order. Hey, what's happening, ladies and germs? This is the PackerMan, and welcome to this delayed edition of The Fuel. This is a review that should have taken place last Sunday. And you're probably wondering, man, where the hell have you been all week, other than Tuesday? Well, fact of the matter is, I've been under the weather. I think I got a cold or some shit. Just haven't felt good all week, and of course, I still have to go to my 9-to-5 job and working that while not feeling too good basically wiped me out every single night. I was just exhausted at the end of every single night other than Tuesday. So there you go. I just haven't been feeling all that good, which sucks because there's a lot of stuff that I wanted to get done this past week but just couldn't, because I just did not feel good whatsoever. So it is what it is. I know some people would probably be like, oh, I didn't want to do the Las Vegas Cup review because I thought it sucked or whatever, you know, and all that other stuff. No, actually, the race was actually good, truth be told. This is honestly the race we're about to talk about, the South Point 400 at Las Vegas, the first race in the round of 8. This is honestly the race we should have got back in the spring. I mean, the spring race was just, what the hell? You know, it was nowhere near as good as it usually is. And then, you know, we come here to the fall edition, and it's the better of the two. So it's almost like they flip-flop roles this year. Because usually it's the fall race that's the inferior one to the spring race, and this year it was just the exact opposite. And I apologize if you hear my big cat in the background. I don't know what his problem is. Claw! Get your butt in here. I think he smells female cats outside, because there's female cats that roam around here. I think he knows they're out there and he wants to go out. And it's like, no. There's already enough cats out here as it is. So you might be having to listen to that for the next couple of Fuel episodes. But anyways, let's go ahead and get into this review. And I'm honestly kind of glad that I waited to do this review, because of some stuff that went down afterwards. Claw. What? What's your problem? Huh? Come on, get up here. Huh? What's your problem, butthead? Hmm? No. You can't get your rocks off. Because I know that's what you want, and you're not doing it. Butthead. Because the reason why I say I'm kind of glad I didn't do this review right away is because the fact that Ryan Blaney, when you want to talk about somebody who had the roller coaster of emotions, you know, after that race, because after the race, it was determined in post-race tech inspection, initially anyway, that Ryan Blaney's, I think it's like his left front shock or something like that, was too long or too short or something like that. Either way, it was out of tolerance, and he was disqualified from the race as a result and lost all his points. So he went from being, I think, 17 down to like over 50 behind, and was pretty much in a must-win situation. Well then, Came to find out that afterwards, NASCAR tech inspectors realized that one of their templates was faulty, basically. And they went back and fixed it, and then took a look at, I guess they took a look at Blaney's shock once again. They realized, oh crap, this was actually intolerance, meaning that it was perfectly fine. And it's like, ooh. So on Monday, they decided to rescind the disqualification against Blaney, so he regains his 6th position in the race. I mean, you want to talk about how competitive this race was? All 8 of the round of 8 drivers, they finished in the top 11. Yep. All 8 of our round of 8 drivers: Kyle Larson, Christopher Bell, Ryan Blaney, William Byron, Tyler Reddick, Martin Truex Jr., Denny Hamlin, Chris Buescher, top 11. Basically, it was the 2 dirt guys, Larson and Bell. Then you had 3 non-playoff drivers: Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, and Ross Chastain, who actually were playoff drivers but got eliminated in the previous round. They finished 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and then the next 6 drivers were the rest of the round of 8, which was Blaney, Byron, Reddick, Truex, Hamlin, and Buescher. And by the way, Truex, welcome to the playoffs, dude. Nice of you to finally wake up and get a top 10 finish. And he's actually starting on pole for the Cup race at Homestead today. So hopefully that bodes well for him. But we'll have to wait and see. I think I forgot to edit something on here. Yes, I did. Let me do that real quick. But anyway, let's go ahead and get this thing started, because I got 2 more reviews to do. But Christopher Bell started from the pole. By the way, interesting little fact: no driver has ever won from the pole at Las Vegas. Almost happened this past week, but still, no driver has ever won from the pole at Vegas. So, Bell led lap number 1. Larson challenges him for the lead and takes it on lap 3. So it's like, okay, and we got some competitiveness going on here. Truex challenged Byron for 3rd, and then Buescher took 4th from Byron, so Byron was dropping back a little bit. And then later in the first stage, Bell tries to come back on Larson for the race lead, with Truex not far behind. And we have a battle for 5th between Kyle Busch, William Byron, and Ryan Blaney. And Bell does reclaim the lead for a second pure lead change on lap 29. The top 3 were all within 0.6 of each other, so it's like, okay, we're off to a good start here. Truex gets by Larson for 2nd. We have green flag stops beginning on lap 34. Then you have Bell pitting from the lead on lap 39. Larson cycles back with the lead, but was in a mess of back markers. Then we have a battle for 7th between Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. And we have our first caution of the day on lap 66, when Eric Jones loses a right rear tire going into turn 1. Basically, it went flat. And we had pit stops, restart on lap 72 with Christopher Bell as the leader. He led the first lap at the restart, but Larson powers around the outside to retake the lead on lap number 73 for a 3rd pure lead change. Truex and Blaney battling hard for stage points, and Larson wins stage number 1. So we had pit stops after the stage. During the stage break, Truex leads the start of stage 2 because they decided that they were going to stay out for some reason. I thought it was to save a set of tires, but no. It was actually a bit of a mistake that they decided to stay out, and they basically stayed out on old tires and lost all their track position. So that was a pretty dumb decision on James Small's part to leave him out there. But we had hard racing in the top 10. Hamlin takes over the lead on lap 92. Truex begins to struggle on the old tires. Kaz moves up to 2nd and Larson to 3rd. All 3 are within 0.4 of each other. And then NBC decides to go to a commercial as the 3-way fight for the lead begins to develop. And I'm like, seriously? Really? Then we get our second caution on lap 112. Carson Hocevar, who was driving the 42 car for this race, blows a right rear tire in turn 1, much like his teammate earlier. So I see the bad luck has returned to Legacy Motor Club. So we have pit stops. Kez wins the race off pit road, so he leads on the lap 118 restart. Larson leads the first lap of the restart, but Kez gets to lead back the next lap because they were side by side. So that's our fifth pure lead change, lap 119. Truex starts trying to bull rush back towards the front. Byron gets by Bell for third, but Bell fights back. Larson, and then here was probably the save of the year right here, definitely in terms of Larson's shot at the championship. Larson damn near spins off turn 2. But with a little help from the outside wall, actually manages to hang on to it. So I don't even want to fucking hear this nonsense of, oh, Larson's not that talented a driver. Fucking bullshit, okay? I don't know what kind of fucking pea brain you have to say that Larson doesn't have any driving talent, but if you're not convinced after seeing that display of driving, quite frankly, you're a fucking moron. And you're just saying he doesn't have talent because you're just a fucking prick like that. And quite frankly, your opinion doesn't mean shit. Then we get our third caution on lap 146 when his teammate Alex Bowman smacks the wall off turn 4 and is unable to get back to the pits, and in fact I think it broke the steering on the car. We have pit stops. We have the restart on lap 150 with Kez as the leader. Byron leads the first lap, but Kez continues to fight back, kind of like we saw the previous restart. So we had our sixth pure lead change on lap 151. Larson gets by Byron for second, and then Chastain starts coming towards the front. He was actually quick in practice and was up to fourth at this point. Larson gets under Keselowski for the race lead for a seventh pure lead change on lap 155. Then we have a battle for second between Chastain, Keselowski, and Byron. So Kez starts backsliding a bit, and Kyle Larson wins stage number 2. So we have pit stops at this point, and Christopher Bell wins the race off pit road, so he leads the start of stage 3. Chastain starts challenging Bell for the lead with Keselowski not far behind. Chastain drifts high, allowing Kez to challenge. So at this point, we have a huge battle for second between Keselowski, Larson, Chastain, Hamlin, and Blaney. At this point, they were all right there together. Then we have our fourth caution on lap 210 when Chase Briscoe spins in turns 1 and 2. We have pit stops at this point, and Larson wins the race off pit road, so he's the leader once again on the lap 216 restart. We have 4 wide on the restart. Then we have our fifth caution on lap 217 when Ty Gibbs loses the right front wheel in turn 2. So, well, that's going to result in the suspension of 2 crew members. Then we have our final restart on lap 222. So we had a long green flag run to end this race. Sneeze alert. False alarm. Alright, so Larson was the leader. Good battle in the bottom half of the top 10. Gibbs with another right front cut tire this time. Probably due to the damage that he received when the right front wheel fell off. Busch gets by Byron for fourth, and then Bell gets by Keselowski for second. And Chastain gets by Byron for fifth. And then Bell is just 1 second back with 10 laps to go. So now it's like, can Bell chase him down? And he actually starts closing the gap pretty damn quickly as he goes to the high side and starts getting a lot of momentum. And I'm like, he's got a shot at this with 2 laps to go. So they come to the white flag, and Bell is 0.4 of a second back. And I'm thinking to myself, can he really make up 0.4? Yes, he can with that kind of momentum on the high side. And I'm thinking he's got a shot. And Larson, what's he going to do? He actually went to the bottom, which in turns 3 and 4, which actually surprised me. You would think he would have gone up to the high side to try to disrupt the air to the 20 car, but nope, he went to the inside, and that actually allowed Bell to get a huge run coming down the front stretch. Larson threw a bit of a block on him. Bell tries to cut under to the inside, but is too little too late, and Kyle Larson wins the South Point 400 at Las Vegas and punches his ticket to the championship 4. There were 20 lead changes during this race, 7 of them pure with 5 caution flags, 3,549 green flag passes, which comes out to 15.4 on average per green flag lap, so pretty good. And Kyle Larson led half the race, 133 laps. But we've actually been getting some pretty good finishes as of late here in NASCAR. What? Of course, we saw the one at Talladega, then we had this one at Vegas. And honestly, the truck and Xfinity races at Homestead yesterday had some pretty interesting finishes as well. Didn't really see, the battle for the win in the truck series, but there was some interesting strategy going down, which made the finish interesting. And both of those races also had long green flag runs to end the race. And the Xfinity race had a thrilling finish between 2 young drivers. So, NASCAR has, at least for the moment, regained a little bit of momentum. But, yeah, I thought the Cup race at Vegas was actually good. Xfinity race, not so much, but the Cup race was actually pretty good. So, my final rating for the South Point 400 at Vegas is an 8 out of 10. So, huge thumbs up. But that's going to do it for this edition of The Fuel. There's 2 more coming up. Truck Series and Xfinity Series at Homestead. And we'll get to those here momentarily. So, thank you very much for watching this edition of The Fuel. And until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out. See you later. What's happening, ladies and germs? Thank you for watching tonight's video. If you're interested in sponsoring the channel, there is a link to my Patreon down in the description box below. Otherwise, hit like and subscribe if you want to continue watching great content like you saw today. Thank you very much for watching, and until next time, this is the PackerMan signing out.